Hi, in this video, I'm going to give you a quick intro of Product Insights module inside Usermaven, and I'm also going to show you how easy it is to set up and how powerful the pre-built reports are. So as you can see here, we are on the main page, which is the overview of Product Insights, and here you can quickly see the progress of how you are getting new users for your SaaS app or for your subscription-based business. So you can see how many people you have got over specific periods of time. For example, today, yesterday, this week, this month, and how many total you have acquired that are, in the database of Usermaven. You can also see the growth chart here. You can also see the company growth chart here. Here is a brief summary of your user stickiness metrics, how sticky your product is. DAU/MAU is stickiness ratio, which is the industry standard, and it is pretty powerful for you to measure how stickiness your product is. You can also see which channels are bringing in visitors and how many of those visitors are turning into users from different channels of traffic. And you can also see who are the most engaged users of your SaaS app or tool. And you can see how many hours they have used your platform and how many days in a month they have used your platform. You can also have a quick overview of the feature usage that you are tracking inside Usermaven. And you can see like which feature is being used the most on a specific day or overall trend of the feature usage of your product. Now, let me take you inside each of these reports to show you how powerful these reports are and what kind of insights you can get out of them. First one is in acquisition. In acquisition phase, we have two kinds of reports. One is attribution and another one is conversion funnels. In attribution, you can see which traffic source is bringing in the most users and how many of those users are being attributed to a specific traffic source. And we have different attribution models here. For example, first touch, last touch, position decay, and linear. You can read more about these attribution models online. These are pretty popular models. And if you want to go a step further, you can see which search engine is bringing in the most users, or if you're running any paid campaigns, you can also track them and see which paid traffic campaign is basically bringing in the most users. This will help you invest and optimize your efforts according to the traffic source which is bringing in the most value for your business. Now, moving on to the conversion funnels, we have created a few here. As an example, the most basic is how many of the unique visitors came to your website and how many of those visitors became customers or users and basically signed up. Another funnel we have here is with the pricing page, how many of the unique visitors visited the pricing page and then signed up. You can see the conversion rate here as well. And another funnel where we are measuring how many unique visitors signed up and then created a workspace. So this third step is basically an action inside the app, which can be changed according to your own business and according to your SaaS. So now here you can create as many funnels and you can create as many variations with as many steps as you want according to your business model and according to your SaaS. You can also see the data in the tabular format as well. Now, moving on to the onboarding report. As you know, in SaaS products, onboarding is one of the most important phases of customer acquisition. If a customer or if a user is facing problems during the onboarding phase, he may not be able to, use the platform or convert. So it's very important that you should be able to see where the users are having problem or where they are dropping off, and then optimize that stage or that process or that step, and then make the most out of your onboarding process and get as many users to convert. So here, as you can see, we have this example onboarding funnel here. You can change the steps according to your SaaS product, and then you can measure the result and see the drop off. For example, here, a lot of users are dropping off during this phase. So you can, optimize it and improve the experience of your users. You can also see the data in the tabular form, and we also have this in the graphical form so that you can see the data on different days and different time periods. Then moving on to the product engagement report. This is also a very good report for your SaaS product because you can see the daily active users, weekly active users, and monthly active users. And you can also measure the stickiness here with different kinds of graphs. And you can also see the daily activity user trend. You can also see weekly active users trend. You can see monthly active users, and then we also have graphs for the stickiness ratios so that you can also measure stickiness on different time periods. So one of the most important things here is that you can filter any of the reports by audience. For example, let's suppose if you want to use an attribute like plan, or if you want to use any other attribute like role, or any other attribute according to your SaaS, you can filter the results according to that, and that will give you different kinds of reports for different kinds of users, and you can build your own insights according to your needs. Another report in product engagement is power users. Here you can see different kinds of power user reports. For example, power users curve on 7 days interval. How many of the users are using your product for how many days in a week, for how many days in a month, and then we have power user activity on 30 days interval as well. Now let's jump on to the feature adoption. This is one of the most important reports in terms of measuring the value of different features that your users are getting, and you can see like which features are being used the most and which features are not being used as you would like, and you would be able to see how many events are performed in a specific feature, how many users are using it, what's the user adoption, what's the company adoption rate. And if you want to go deep inside any report, you can see how many users basically tried that feature in the last 30 days, how many got engaged, and how many didn't come back and try again. So you can find deep insights in this report, and you would be able to find trends of usage inside this report for different kinds of features that you have in your product. And you would be able to see the frequency of the usage, whether the feature is being used by high activity users or medium activity users or low activity users. So we have defined these according to different usage patterns. And so different features would have different kinds of usage, and you would be able to measure and see whether the feature is performing according to your expectations or not. And lastly, we have a retention report. Here we have two different kinds of reports. One is slipping away users and another is retention report. Slipping away users basically gives you a list of users, or the number of users that are basically slipping away and they didn't come back to use your product for specific days of time. For example, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days. You can get the list of the users, export them, and use them in your marketing tool or CRM and reach out to them. Then we have here retention report. As you can see here, here you can measure the retention on week by week basis, and you can see when is the product usage basically going down and how far in different time periods the product is being used. And you can also see the cohort analysis here, which is pretty valuable to see when is the usage coming down, and where do you need to optimize your experience, and where you should be putting your efforts in terms of getting your users back. These are different kinds of reports. Now let me show you how easy it is to set up these reports. So for example, let's go to the manage insights area. In acquisition we have two reports, funnel conversion report, attribution report. For example, for funnel conversion, you just give it a name. You just have to add different steps here. Let me open one of the reports that we have created. So we save some time here. So here you can see like we have added the steps that we want to add in the funnel, and that's it. It's pretty easy. Now let's check the attribution report. This is also pretty simple to set up. You just have to give it a name and then select the sign up event, and if you want to exclude any referrals traffic here. So it's pretty basic, pretty simple. Similarly for onboarding, let's see here. It's pretty similar to conversion funnels that I've shown you earlier. Here you just have to define the steps in your onboarding process, and that's done. So all of the reports are pretty easy, pretty basic to set up. Here you just have to select one event, which is basically the event that marks a user as active user. And similarly for power users, you just have to select one event, and that's pretty simple. So all of these reports are pretty simple, pretty basic to set up. You just have to, fill in one or two fields, and all of the reports will be instantly set up. I think it won't take more than 30 minutes of your initial time to set up these reports. So once done, you won't have to, come back again and again to set up these reports. Obviously, you can do that, but you would have to spend most of the time viewing the data, viewing the graphs, and, getting the value out of it. So this is all about product insights. I hope you would like the product, you would get the value out of it. Let's see you inside.